Hey there, if you're watching this video, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today's video will showcase Echidna Gate 1. I will discuss major mechanics and some notable attacks. If you found this video to be helpful, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's jump right into it. The battle items you want to bring along for Echidna Gate 1 will be Dark Grenade, Whirlwind Grenade, and Atropine. The last battle item can be a personal choice of whatever you want, Sacred Charm, Marching Flag, etc. Gate 1 of Echidna will eventually have the party splitting up into two different areas of the map. One party will deal with damaging the boss, the other party will deal with the mini-boss. This will occur later on in the fight. However, before you start the raid, you need to decide on which party will be dealing with the mini-boss, aka the stagger side. This party will bring Whirlwind Grenade. The party dealing with the raid boss will bring Dark Grenade. Essentially, whichever party has more stagger in their kit should be assigned to the stagger side and deal with the mini-boss. With assignments out of the way, let's dive into the raid itself. When you start Gate 1, you will see a ton of mobs on the map. And near the top of the map, you'll see the boss surrounded by a shield. Two elite mobs are generating this shield, one on the left and one on the right side. Party 1 will go left side of the map and kill the elite mob. Party 2 will go right side of the map and kill their elite mob. During all this, you'll see a shadow on the ground flying by periodically. This means the dragon is going to cast a flame breath in that area of the map momentarily. This will deal a ton of damage. Once both elite mobs have been dealt with, Avel will cast her special skill. Sidereal meter will generate at this point, and you will want to use Echidna since it deals the most damage. You will need to bring the boss down to 160 HP lines to trigger the next phase. When you get the boss down to 160, a cutscene will occur and you'll be brought to the right side of the map. You will need to press G and jump on over to the next platform. When you parkour through this phase, fire and arrows will bombard the map. They do moderate damage, so watch your step. You will notice a timer at the top left of your screen. Your goal is to get to the boss and complete a stagger check before the time runs out, otherwise it is a wipe. After pressing G, walk down a bit and press G again to get to the next platform. A group of mobs will spawn that you will need to kill. These mobs deal a decent amount of damage, so support should be shielding during this. Once you kill all the mobs, walk down together as a group and go over to the next platform. You will see a dragon on the right side of this platform that you will need to kill. He doesn't do any special attacks, but he does deal a bit of damage. After killing the dragon, proceed to the next platform. Eventually, you'll get to the main platform where you see the boss in the middle. You'll have to complete the stagger check on the boss. At this point, the sidereal meter should be filled up. If so, use the Echidna Sidereal to push damage. You will notice that the Sidereals in this fight operate a bit differently. Every Sidereal has a special follow-up skill you can use if you have enough gauge. At 135 HP lines or below, the next mechanic will occur. The boss will teleport to the middle. After a moment, he will disappear and you will split up randomly into groups of 4, 2 groups total. One party will see lines that are pointing horizontally, and the other party will see lines pointing vertically. You will need to go to the safe spot each time the lines spawn. The safe spot will be a line that is a different color from the rest. So one party will see a black line with the rest being red, and the other party will see a red line with the rest being black. You will need to do this 4 times in total. On the 4th wave of lines, you will need to look at the direction the line is pointing towards. It will only point towards 11 through 5 o'clock. A clone of the boss is going to spawn in whichever direction the line is pointing towards, and you will need to counter this clone. Both parties will have to do this. If you fail, it will be a wipe. In hard mode, this mechanic is slightly different. When you go to your safe spot, you will need to also gather up with the party on the other side. Every single safe spot on both sides have a spot that intersect. Pay attention to your minimap and make sure everyone gathers up. A random player on both sides will get a debuff each time this occurs, and after a moment, a lantern will drop on the ground. This lantern from both parties have to be in the same spot, so that when a boss rushes through it, you gain a shield that prevents damage. You will have to do this 3 times in total. On the 4th safe spot, you will not need to gather up. However, you need to call the clock position of where your line is pointing. Likewise with the other party. You need to go to the clock position that the other party called and wait for the clone to spawn, then perform a co-op counter on the boss. If either party fails to do this, it will be a wipe. After the mechanic is complete, the boss will be staggered on the ground for a long time, allowing a good window to deal damage. Around 105 HP lines or below, the next mechanic will occur. A dialogue box will be shown, and you will see a ton of mobs that start to spawn on the map. When the mobs get close, use the Avel Sidereal and her follow-up skill. This will kill all the remaining mobs on the map. Around 90 HP lines or below, a cutscene will occur. After the cutscene, the party that was assigned to the stagger side needs to go to the bottom of the map around 6 o'clock. After a few moments, you will be able to press G and hop on over to the other side. The party dealing with the boss itself will focus on damaging the boss. When the party assigned to stagger gets to the mini-boss, you will see a stagger bar and a few mobs surrounding her. You will need to throw a whirlwind grenade and complete the stagger check as fast as you can. If you run out of time and do not complete the stagger check, it will be a wipe. After the stagger check is complete, the goal of either side is to bring the HP line to 50. It does not matter which side does this first. On the stagger side, the mini-boss does one special attack. She will teleport to the middle, showcase butterflies around her, and perform a red telegraph attack. After a moment, she will show a horizontal or vertical safe spot. You need to type V for vertical or H for horizontal in the chat, as this attack will occur on the other side. The other side will showcase butterflies in the middle momentarily. This means the attack is about to start. If the butterflies spin clockwise, the safe spot is going to be in the middle. If it spins counterclockwise, it means the middle is not safe. During progging, I recommend supports use their awakening skill during this attack to prevent potential deaths due to this attack. It does a ton of damage if you're not in the safe spot. Once either side pushes the 50 HP lines, the next mechanic will occur. The mini-boss on the stagger side will disappear, and mobs will start to spawn with the lantern in the middle. The stagger side needs to kill every single mob that is spawned. Afterwards, the lantern will either show red or black smoke coming from it. This color needs to be called out in chat, as the members on the boss side will need to find a lantern with that color. On the boss side, he will show a purple aura around him. This purple aura will deal reflect damage if you attack him, so stop DPS at this point. Whoever is standing closest to the boss will get a tether attached to them. Every second you have a tether, you will get a debuff that can stack. This debuff will slow your movement speed. At 10 stacks, you will be petrified and someone will have to free you. You should alternate between tethered players periodically so that this does not occur. The boss will also focus all attacks on the tethered player. When the tethered player gets 2 stacks or more, you will be able to see the location of the lanterns on the map. Only 2 will spawn, and they spawn in random locations around the edges of the map. So the entire party should split up while this is happening and communicate which lantern is at which clock position. This party needs to find the correct colored lantern and kill it as soon as possible. Once the boss side kills their lantern, the mini-boss on the stagger side will either appear at 12 or 3 o'clock with another stagger check. Complete the stagger check as fast as you can. Once you have done so, the stagger side will need to go to the left side of the map and press G to get back to the boss side. When the stagger side completes their stagger check, the main boss on the other side will gather red energy and stand still with the large shield that you need to burn through. This is when you will use the Avel Sidereal, as she will do bonus damage to shield. Use the follow-up skill as soon as you can. Throw dark grenades and use atropine here as well. If you fail to burn the shield in time, it will be a wipe. When everyone gathers up, focus on damaging the boss until he reaches 50 HP lines. Then the last phase will occur. During this last phase, the outskirts of the map will deal heavy tick damage, and you will have a small area to fight the boss in. At this point, you need to burn the boss down to 0 to end the fight. Use the Azena or Avel Sidereal whenever you can to push damage. In hard mode, a lantern will spawn at 12 o'clock during this last phase. A player needs to walk up to this lantern and press G to interact with it. This will prevent map-wide AoE damage that would occur if no one interacted with the lantern. However, you cannot hold on to this lantern forever. You will notice a debuff above your mana bar when you pick it up, and the debuff stacks up quickly. At 80 stacks, you should go back to the lantern and press G again to drop it. Then someone else needs to pick it back up. You will have to alternate between players for this lantern until the boss is dead. If you get 100 stacks with this lantern, you will be petrified and the boss will kill you. In addition, the boss may perform attacks that will generate a puddle under your feet. If this occurs, you need to place the puddles at the edge of the map, as standing on them does a lot of damage. If you don't push DPS fast enough, the boss can perform a special co-op counter attack. This is noted by a red ball that he spawns in front of him. After a moment, everyone will get a puddle under their feet that drops 4 times in total. Dodge the puddles, then go to the boss as he will do a co-op counter attack. Now that we have went over the major mechanics, let's discuss some notable attacks that can happen throughout the fight. Spin counter. The boss will target a random player and do a whirlwind attack. At the end of the whirlwind attack, he will glow blue for a counter. Red Orb. The boss will stand still and target 2 random players with the red orb above their head. The red orb will travel to these players. After a moment, it will explode, noted by a red inside safe telegraph. It is ideal if the red orb players stack together for this attack. A few other players will have puddles spawning underneath their feet. Clone counter. The boss will show a green aura, then disappear. The boss will reappear with clones of himself somewhere on the map. You'll need to find the real boss and counter it. You can easily see which one is real by looking for a health bar. Earthquake. The boss will leap in the air and throw his sword on the ground. Then the boss will slam the ground in that area shown by a blue telegraph. You can either spacebar this telegraph or move outside to avoid being stunned. Large yellow grab. The boss will slowly pull back his sword, then slam it on the ground. If anyone is standing in front of the boss when he slams his sword, that player will be grabbed. Then the boss will slowly walk forward, slash that player a ton of times, then follow up with an AoE attack. If no one gets hit by his initial slam, he will spin and attempt to grab anyone close to him. This will be noted by a yellow circle telegraph. If you are grabbed, expect to take a lot of damage. Flurry attack. The boss will stand still and unleash a flurry of attacks in random directions. Afterwards, he will follow up with a large AoE slash that will knock back any players close to him. This attack does a lot of damage. Green pizza. The boss will target a random player, noted by a green pizza. The player who is targeted needs to bait this telegraph away from NPCs that are currently on the map. If the telegraph hits an NPC, it will turn into a mob that you will need to kill. Red circle counter. The boss will slam his sword on the ground, noted by a red circle around him. He will then follow up with multiple red circle attacks. Afterwards, he will get up and glow blue for a counter. This attack does a lot of damage. And that will conclude the Echidna Gate 1 guide. This gate is pretty easy to get through, but the plethora of mobs in certain parts of the fight make it a bit annoying. I will be working on Gate 2 and plan to finish it soon. I hope you have fun proccing this raid, and if you have any questions at all, leave a comment below or join my Discord. That will be it for now. Stay tuned for the next video. Peace.